Welcome to Career Journeys, a series of videos by the Consortium for Public Education. Here we explore the career experiences and pathways of professionals from a wide variety of careers to help you think about the skills you'll need and the paths you might take after high school.
Hi, I'm Debbie Pixton with the Consortium for Public Education. Today I'm interviewing Sarah Brooks, a program director at the Consortium for Public Education. Thank you so much for joining us, Sarah.
Thank you so much for having me, Debbie.
So Sarah, before you came to the Consortium, you had a background in marine biology, in marine science. Can you talk to us about what made you want to study marine science?
As a kid from the farmlands of Illinois, the ocean was always a very exotic and exciting, place, right? So when I was 10, we took a family trip to SeaWorld and I fell in love with ocean life. I was like, this is amazing. I want to do this. I'd always been really excited about science and loved animals. But I had a very narrow focus on like what a marine biologist did. But that is definitely what first got me excited about marine biology.
What kinds of positions did you hold as a marine biologist?
When I figured out what school I wanted to go to, there are marine science programs across the country, and there are many different types of programs that you can get involved with to find out if that's something that you like. So Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute, I believe it's in Massachusetts, does like semesters at sea where you like live on a big sailboat and you do research for an entire semester. There's also a lot of the zoos and aquariums also have internships, like the zoo here in Pittsburgh. They have internships that you can apply for. So being able to get a lot of experience or a lot of opportunities helped. But when I went to college, I did find a school in St. Petersburg, Florida, called Eckerd College that had a marine science program. And the way that our marine sciences was split up, you could either go into marine biology, marine chemistry, or marine geology. So I started taking all types of my marine science classes. So I took all types of science. So it was physics 1 and physics 2 and climatology and just a general marine science class. I took an invertebrate class, which was super intense because most of the invertebrate class was learning the classifications of all of these things that don't have backbones. So because of that, it was one of those classes that shifted my headspace and what I really wanted to do. So I ended up transitioning from a marine biology focus to a marine geology focus. So instead of life under the water, it became rocks under the water. So it made sense in the end. I was always that kid that was dirty and rolling around in the mud when I was little. So I've always found rocks to be very fascinating. So because I took that change in focus for my education, I ended up spending a lot more time taking like sedimentology classes and learning, your basic geology and coastlines. So it definitely shifted from there.
Can you talk about what kinds of things your friends who have studied marine biology or any of the marine sciences do now?
Sure. So I do have one friend. He got his master's studying turtles, and he is now an aquatic biologist. And he actually is from Cincinnati, and he works for the Miami River Valley Sanitation Department, which is the EPA before the EPA was established. So he does a lot of fish studies and the health of the Miami River Valley. And because the Miami River Valley is connected to the Ohio River, he actually spends time here in Pittsburgh doing, again, like just water quality studies to see the health of the river. I have another friend who became a professional geologist in the state of Florida, and she actually does a lot of hydrology or water testing. Someone else runs a group of drillers. They actually drill freshwater wells in Florida. So there's a lot of work that they do. It's all seems very varied, but for the most part, they are really just collecting data and then presenting it to the person that is funding their work.
So Sarah, what are some skills that make you really good in the marine sciences?
I think you have to be really analytical. I think you have to really love science and consistently want to look consistently want to learn more about whatever aspect that you are studying. To be in science, it is not just a science experiment you do over the course of a class period. It is years and years and years of one experiment and one variation of an experiment. So you have to really enjoy science. You have to enjoy the scientific method. It is helpful if you have math skills. That is one thing that I did not have. I was not as good at math as I needed to be to go into the sciences. So if you're not, that is not to say that you can't still have a science career. You just might need a little bit extra help, and that's perfectly cool. Go for it. So I think having curiosity, loving science, having those really great math skills, and really just loving to do research is extremely important.
So thinking about, if I am a student in high school and thinking about a career in marine science, what questions should I ask myself to know if that might be a good fit for me?
I think trying to get into those experiences, those, internships, those summer programs, right? Just because you live in PA does not mean that those experiences are hard or difficult to find. Like, they are out there, right? Clearly, if you live on the coast, it's a little easier. But you also don't just have to focus in on, saltwater life either. I mean, freshwater is very important. We have 2 huge rivers that are here, or 3 huge rivers that all come together. So it's really important that we take care of our waterways, whether they're internal, inside the continent, or outside. So I think having those experiences, putting yourself out there, and really having a true sense of like what you are good at. So if you are really curious and you enjoy science classes and all the science classes, and you also, are doing really well in math, then keep going. If you are not, that's okay. Get a tutor. It's fine, right? Like, we all have things that we can learn and do better, right? So I would say definitely look at your extracurricular activities, definitely look into outside experiences, go to the zoo, see what internships again that they have there. So I think that's probably what it comes down to. You have to love science, you have to be pretty darn good at math, and also have those experiences to know if that's something you really want in the end.
So Sarah, what's one piece of advice you would offer to students who are aspiring to work in one of the marine sciences?
Learn all you can about marine science. Have a clear idea of, or at least try to have a clear idea as to what your skills are. And it's okay if it doesn't end up being the thing, really, because, everybody's education path is different and it's not linear. I was that kid that thought that I needed to do A through Z, and in the end, I ended up failing more often than not and finding out things I didn't like. And every time I found something that I didn't like, that was okay, because, well, I'll focus on something else now, right? So I was able to take my analytical brain that I clearly have and apply it to, a job that helps educate educators, which is really fun for me, right? And I have this cool little quirky thing that I did back in college and a degree in that I was able to transition and into teaching. So I think it's just really having multiple plans to fall back on. And even if, whatever you decide to do doesn't become your thing, that's okay. Because in the end, you will find something and you will be good at something. So,
Sarah, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and experiences with us today.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
For more information or to learn about other careers in the Career Journey series, visit our website and check back soon for our next installment. Thanks!